The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, y'all already know what's going on. All right, so I love my platform. I love my channel because I get to get as deep as I want about the music. I get to get as deep as I want about the sports and everything around the music and the sports and everything going on in the culture. It's just a dope space for me. And one thing I like to see is artists grow. And we all know what's happened over Young Dolph in the last month or so. Getting shot, recovering, dropping his project Friday. We know TALIAFERRO'S got enough videos out in the atmosphere about the Young Dolph situation. But it's time to go past that, right? Young Dolph has dropped off his first single from his 10-track project called Thinking Out Loud, I believe. And it's dropping Friday, and we're going to cover it. I'm probably going to do a live stream on it as well. And I reacted to this record. You can check out the Ferro Reacts channel for that tomorrow of this record. My first time listening to it. I got a reaction for it. That video is going to drop tomorrow. Let me just make this clear. Young Dolph has the ear of the streets right now. And I believe in my heart of hearts, barring some Eminem drop this weekend, Young Dolph's going to have the #1 album in the country. I haven't even looked at everybody else who's releasing this weekend, but I'm pretty sure Dolph's going to have the #1 album in the country. Just off sheer anticipation for where this brother is at in his headspace after getting shot less than a month ago. Just off sheer anticipation alone, I got a feeling this project is going to go to #1 off streams. And I think some of his loyal fans, they'll make it just a sheer effort to go out and buy this project as well. So I think the physicals will be a little bit higher than what Young Dolph is used to doing on physicals, if they do a physical release with this project. Definitely the streams will be up. And I think Dolph's going to cash in on his first #1 album in the country. So with that being said, Young Dolph knew with the first single off the project, and probably the only single if the project's dropping Friday, he could have went up tempo. This record, maybe he could have went up tempo, said some street-ish. That would have, you know, again, he has the ear of the streets right now. Everybody's looking for Young Dolph's next move. But Young Dolph throws a curveball with this record while you're here, and we're about to get into some of the lyrics of this record, and literally throws everybody off. It is produced by my dog Drama Boy. Salute to Drama Boy. It's a curveball, and I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. One of Dolph's deepest records I've ever heard, and I've been around musically for pretty much most of Dolph's career. Top 5, one of my favorite Dolph records all the time. I've only listened to it probably 5 times. I already know off top this is Dolph not being cocky or arrogant at all. And let me make this clear. Anybody that knows Dolph music, rarely do you get a record where Dolph's not cocky or arrogant in one line. We love when Dolph pops his mess. He pops it with the best of them. But there's rarely, and I can't name a track off the top of my head where I didn't hear Dolph pop his ish not one time. In this record, he didn't pop it one time. And that's why I love it so much, because it's real life. And again, the brother could have went with an up-tempo record, a street banger, a club banger. He didn't do that with the lead single. Very interesting decision. And I think it speaks a lot about Dolph's character right now. Now, the record, while you're here, now, I'm not going to say Dolph has made this record in the last couple weeks since he got shot. I'm not going to say that. Sounds like it could have been a record that's been made months ago, maybe. But the timing of putting it on this project, I do believe, has something to do with his shooting, and just kind of count your blessings while you're here, because you don't know when we're going to get took off this earth. None of us know. None of us know when our last day is going to be on this earth, and this record is as deep as it gets. Let me say this about Dolph before I get into the record as well. When I met Dolph for the first time, right, when we did our interview, and we did it at like 4 in the morning, I can't thank that brother enough for what he did for me. Let me make this clear. Young Dolph was heavily tired when we shot that interview, and Young Dolph gave me game off camera for about 30-45 minutes. The interview was only 15 minutes. Shout out to everybody who's ever checked that interview out. The interview was only 15-20 minutes, but 30-45 minutes off camera, and I think the camera might have still been rolling, but I never released it. It's just Dolph giving me game, telling me, look, this is right before Preach got big. So Preach was bubbling in the club, but it wasn't what it became, right? You know, I don't fuck with D, nigga, cause they shady. So this is right when Preach was bubbling. He told me that's gonna be the biggest record in the clubs, and you know, at one point in time, it was the biggest record in the club. And the Young Dolph I know has a lot of records like this in the chamber. That's the Young Dolph I've met a few times, and the one that, and again, I don't personally know Dolph. We just did, you know, interviews. But the young Dolph I know that did a show free for the whole city of Memphis where he bought out 9 or 10 of his close rap friends a few years ago. And no label, by the way. The young Dolph I know has a lot of these records in the chamber. So does it come as a shock to me that young Dolph produced this record? No. Maybe from a timing standpoint into public, you might get shocked if you're a new Dolph fan. But for anybody who understands who Dolph is, I just don't. That's why I never understood. I'm just keeping a stack with you. I never understood the Gotti beef. Because the Dolph I know, he's just a deep individual, and he don't get enough credit for that, honestly. And some of the things, I know the brother got a good heart. Put it like that. And this record exemplifies it. Let's get into the verse. Dolph says, forget all that microphone stuff. That's how he started off in a little intro. You know, he said it's this deeper than the microphone stuff. And then he gets into the first verse. And I'm going to read this whole first verse, and I'm going to try to rap it in, not in Dolph's cadence. I ain't got that in me, but as to the best of my abilities. Grandma called me, told me she needed a new car. I got you, Grandma. Said she heard that her grandson is a superstar. Mama said, don't worry, she's sick, but she's still good. Mom and Daddy in the suburbs, but they hood, though. Yeah, my little brother locked up just for trying to get some paper, but I can't blame him because his big brother a paper chaser. Keep some money on his books, now that young nigga straight. He said he don't want no visits, that young nigga ate. My best friend mama getting sicker by the day. Cancer took over her body, got her all in pain. My homie going through it, I see it all in his face. Now everybody bow your head, it's time to pray. Alright, and then the chorus is pretty much, tell your mama you love her while she here. Tell your pops you love him while he here. Tell your homeboy you love him while I here. One day you here, next day you gone. Yeah, for real. It's that time of the year. It's a lot of shit going on around here. Tell your chick that you love her while you're here. If it wasn't for her, would your kids be here? And I usually don't do this, but give me the second verse. Give me the second verse. I really like this record a lot. Sometimes I just sit back and think, do I think too hard or do I think enough? Everything that I do, I got a son watching now. Nephews and little cousins that look up to me. Yeah, I made it out the streets, nigga, luckily. For real, only if you knew what I've been through. Mama stressing out cause the rent due, ain't that real? Went to grandma's grave and told her I. It's hard to stay focused out here living in hell. The only way to get ahead is if you catching sales. Wow, that's some real shit. Got niggas out here every day catching shells. This real life shit ain't no fairy tales. I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, for me, top 5 one of Dolph's best put together. Just deep, man. Sometimes I don't want to hear these rappers talking about their money. I'm not gonna lie to you. We know y'all got it. We happy for y'all too. Hell, we the fans. We the ones that help you get in those positions. Sometimes I just want to be able to relate to a track and not feel like the rapper got a planet in my head, that they independent, that they made 10 millions in a year, that they doing this, doing that. God damn, sometimes I just want to listen to a rapper be vulnerable and relate to me. I feel like we've lost that art of rap in the trap mumble era. Yo, we still people who struggling to get by. Like, yo, I know people find it hard to believe with some people when they faking flocks on Instagram. I love telling my struggles and my story. I struggle. Shit, I struggle. Things, I got good weeks, good months. Shit, it's bad times too. But I take pride in my struggle, and I take pride in being allowed to tell my story. And I think sometimes we take that aspect of life for granted, and I deeply appreciate young Dolph for putting this very thoughtful verse together and making a bit of a sacrifice, right? Dolph knows that people, again, looking for that trap type beat, that trap record. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He became a vulnerable rapper who obviously knows that the name of that record, While You Here, is going to spark some attention to him. And he knows with the situation that he just got through and is still getting through right now, people would have been shocked by this. And I'm pleasantly surprised by this record and just happy about this record. It came out really well. Again, one of my favorite Dolph records all time. What do you guys think about the record? Man, salute to Dolph for coming with this tune. This is the lead single off this project, Thinking Out Loud, that I believe drops this Friday. Again, we're going to tune in and stream that project to support. Thank y'all for the time, love, support. Any artist that's ever did an interview with me, they always good. And we'll do this for every artist that ever rock with me. Like, we'll show love and support to a record right before the project. I think that's only right. Salute to the whole Paper Route Empire. Get well, my nigga. Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. Hold on, I'm not just saying it. I'm very appreciative of the view. But make sure you subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. You'll get it first. I'm out. What's going on is yours truly, Mr. TALIAFERRO. And if you enjoyed this latest video, whether it's sports, hip-hop, or other culture-related activities, please subscribe to my channel right now. And if you want more from TALIAFERRO, you can always subscribe to the React channel for more of your latest reactions and music and sports highlights.